Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? My name is Greta Bereisaite. I'm dating and relationship coach for women. For the awesome, high value women secrets, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified when I upload new videos. It's about twice a week. Sometimes I go live just once a week, which now will probably be Saturdays. And in between, I usually upload another video on Wednesdays. And every day I post shorts, and all my videos are packed of high value dating and relationship advice for women only. Okay, I've been doing this since 2016 or 2017, so full time, like as a business. I coach thousands and thousands of women, so the advice is very, very valuable. And from tons of experience of my own and coaching clients. Because, yes. So today's topic is actually about games. I realized I haven't done a video on games for a very, very long time. And videos on games was my kind of it, because I used to live in London for a very, very long time. And London, unfortunately, is full of games. And a lot of clients I would get, they would be from LA, from New York, from Berlin, Paris, all these big cities where literally all the sharks concentrate, And it was just games, 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 games. So if you live in a capital city, like you have to know how to spot these games. Otherwise, you will be played, you will be manipulated, you will be abused. But I'm not gonna just go like into man blaming here. I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do, I will tell you how to handle it so you still come out right. Because the problem is that we like it or not, majority of people, majority of men will play games to kind of to get to you, to have you, to charm you, and to be liked by you. So we kind of don't have a lot of time, a way out. We need to learn the stuff and not to kind of, in some ways, some games are okayish, some games are nasty, some games have like a innocent intention to it, some games have a bad intention to it. So there's like lots of different types of games. It's really important to be aware of all of these. So let me give you actually some examples of like good intention games, right? So for guys, right, because it's a man who pursues a woman, right? If you're a Christian, or even if you're not a Christian, like that it's a man that finds his wife, it's a man that pursues a woman, it's a man that needs to approach her, charm her, etc. And as a woman, all you need to do is just be receptive if you are into the guy. If you're not into him, you don't have to be receptive. You're just like, I have a boyfriend, I'm married, whatever else, right? But if you okay, you can be receptive and engage with him when he takes the lead. Now, for a man to get a woman, he needs to charm you. He needs to say something to you sweet or kind or nice or give you some compliments. Some women actually, unfortunately, get so arrogant, especially when we are teenagers. Even me as a teen, I was so, like, not even as a teen and 20 years old, I was like, I was, so with like you had to be smart to approach me, because nothing would work. I was just above it all. Not because I was arrogant, I was a bit angry with men, to be honest. So that's why I was above it all. Very quick story short. Um, I when I was finishing high school, I had these pictures of models on my fridge, like supermodels, and I thought I'm gonna look like that, when I was 20, and I lost weight, like, and I looked like very, very skinny, right, very skinny, um, and I saw a day and night difference. Everybody was staring at me. Everybody was approaching me. I would go to a nightclub. It would be like, are you a supermodel? Can I take a picture with you? Are you a supermodel? Are you a supermodel? Like I was called a supermodel everywhere I turned. That was in Dublin, right? Everywhere I turned. And in my heart, I was so angry. I was so angry because in high school, I wasn't skinny. I was normal. I was normal. I wasn't overweight, nothing like that. I never was overweight, but I was sporty. But there was a huge difference between looking sporty and looking super skinny, like supermodel like. And I felt it when I lost all the weight and when all men just like jumped on me like sharks. And I was just like, somebody would say, "What's your name?" I'd be like, "Doesn't matter, does it?" Like, that was my attitude. Somebody would say, "You're so well." I would just roll my eyes, walk away. So I was mean because I was angry in my heart. I was like, why is the look so important? You're after me just because I look like you know. So that is my point, ladies. Some women are like I was in 20s. Like now, give me compliments, I'm all happy. But back then, you're angry or you're this or that. So men need to kind of find a way on how to approach you what works with you, right? And when we start to think, like sometimes we charm you, sometimes we tell you everything you want to hear. You're the most beautiful, you're the most this, you're the most that, right? Just to get you to like him. Otherwise, you might say you're not that pretty, so you get intrigued. And when he's like, and you want that guy more because he's the only one that's not giving you compliments, right? So it's kind of, it's sometimes with games, the only intention is to get your attention, and once he gets your attention, and then he could potentially behave normal or treat you right, etc., etc. So basically, what I'm saying is, men need to figure out how to charm you so you would like him because it's his job to pursue you, right? So in a way, like him charming you is a bit like a game, because if he comes to you and he's just normal self, normal boyish self, majority of the time you're not even gonna like him because you're gonna be like, you're giving nothing, like nothing is clicking in my head, no fantasies, no nothing, and you're just gonna be like, whatever, next. So we need to figure out a way how to charm you. So this is like, if intention is pure, the game is fine. Other times the intention is bad. If the guy is not a nice guy, he's not a good guy, he doesn't have pure intentions, he's gonna come to you and he's gonna promise you the world, he's gonna make you feel amazing, he'll tell you, he'll plant seeds and all of that, and then he gets into your pants and he dumps you the next day. So it really, like, don't judge a guy just because he's covering you in compliments. That's my point. Keep observing his actions towards you, and then you'll actually see, is he a good guy, is he a bad guy, is he worth your time? So I'm gonna start with the game number one. Yes, I was a man before, and then I turned into a woman, and then I became a man again, and then I'm a woman again, and yeah, because I look like a man, and my voice sounds like a man, like I just look like a man completely, yeah. Right. Somebody said to me that, uh, oh, that's cool. Right. That is cool. Put user on a timeout. I love it. It's like put user on a naughty step. This is cute. I love it. Okay, so the user is on a naughty step. A boundary. This is cute. Okay, so let's go on to the game number one. Well, the charm was the game number one. Let's go into the game number two. So this game would be more like a dating game, right? And like a client of mine actually reminded me of this game. So a client of mine was talking to a guy and just talking, no phone calls, nothing, just talking, right? Like I mean, sorry, phone calls and text messages, but not meeting in real life, not going on the dates, just talking, right? And she said to me, "Oh, Greta, he seems really nice, etc., etc. He's like a cat, seems like a catch, but he hasn't asked me out yet." And I've been talking to him every day for like an hour. He calls me every day for like an hour. We've been talking for like a week, or like, she's like, how long should I talk to him? Shouldn't he ask me out? This is kind of like ridiculous. My client is a bit old. She's 40, so she knows that talking is a waste of time. And then she told me what he's telling her. So what he's telling her is, he's basically trying to charm her without taking her on a date first, and he's trying to make her feel safe and like she can trust him. So when they go on the date, she's relaxed, she's easy approachable, easy for him to make all moves that he wants, and maybe even get into her bed, right? So I'll tell you the strategies he's doing. So, first of all, he calls her and he talks to her for a very, very long time. So, when you talk to a woman for a long time, the woman starts to bond. She's like, oh, he likes me, we connect, etc. Then he tells you a story. He tells a story where he is a hero. So maybe he saved a puppy, maybe he saved a woman drowning. And my client's case was like he saved a woman drowning. So he had to tell her this. He's like, yeah, when I was on holiday, I saved this woman drowning. Oh, it's nothing. But he's basically planting a seed. I'm my hero. I'm strong. I can protect you. I'll be there for you, etc., etc. So he's making himself big in my client's head. Then he drops in hints like such as, when he talks to her, even a tiny bit, oh, I know you. Yes, yes, I like octopus. You like octopus. We meant to be. What's your favorite color? Yes, yes. You tell him a story. Yes, I totally relate to you. I totally know you. Like, he agrees with everything what you're saying, and he sounds enthusiastic, and he's saying, I'm exactly like that. Yeah, I know you. I know you. So he's making you feel safe, like you guys are bonding. So you feel like, oh, maybe I met the one, I met my soulmate, right? And then number three strategy that he could be doing, that he was doing to my client, is holidays. We haven't even been on one date, and he's already saying, oh, let's go on holidays. Oh, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Turkey? My client said she wants to go to Turkey. He's like, oh, let's go to Turkey together. It's going to be so amazing. And he talks for another hour about going to Turkey together. So the reason guys talk about holidays before even meeting you or on the first 2 dates is planting seeds in your head, creating memories of you both together on the holidays, right? Because it's nice when you think about it. You're with Mr. Perfect. Let's say he's handsome, he's telling you all you want to hear, and now you're like, you create this image, it's go to Maldives together, and he's paying for everything, and you're in these 5-star hotels and blah 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 blah, right? And now he's like kissing your hand and doing all these gentle like gestures, and then would you like to come on over, blah blah blah, and then you sleep with him and he is gone, right? So these are more like, the games are, the intention is to, it's kind of difficult to say. The intention, there can be a few intentions in this. One, like the key intention is for you to like him, right? So he's telling you, I'm my hero, and he's making you feel, safe. I like this too. So you're bonding, right? Holidays, blah, blah, blah. So the intention is for you to like him, right? Now, if you are smart, you can still talk to him, right? But you kind of let all this bullshit, you leave the bullshit behind. When you go on the date with him, you you act like you never heard a promise of him going on holiday with you. You basically need to judge a guy or analyze a guy just based on the action. Nothing else, just based on the action. It doesn't matter what he says. If he says, I know you, we click, blah, blah, doesn't matter. What matters is, you know me, you really like me, really? Did you ask me on a date? Did you pay for the date? Where did you take me on that date if you like me so much? Oh, you only took me for one drink somewhere where I actually had to travel. But you like me so much that you would take me on holiday and you're here. It doesn't add up then, you know? Like, what if you want to know what the intention is like, what's the situation with the guy is like where is the bullshit, where is what, if you want clarity, you look just at the action. So if he's telling you, if he's like all this BS, right, everything like fluff, you know, like a fog, he's putting fog in your head, right? And when you look at the action, all he did took you down to the local pub for one drink, no effort, no action, last minute, you know, then you know who you're dealing with, you know. And then if you want to go on another date with him, then you judge him based on that action, based on that one drink down the pub. Not like, I'm a hero, I saved a woman drowning, I'm gonna take you to holiday, I know you this, you completely ignore. So if you just go on that, you know, drink down the local pub, which to be honest, it's not that bad, you know, it's okay sometimes for a first date, you know, and when he likes you and when next time he asks you to go for pizza, you ignore all that fluff and then you go for, sorry, for pizza. And then if he likes you again, you go for something else. So even if he's full of BS and you're just paying attention to the action and you see it's like, it's actually not too bad as long as I'm not falling for it, as long as I'm not behaving naive, you can actually work with that. And what happens sometimes later on, these guys can fall in love with you head over heels and you can actually have a happy, healthy relationship. You know, it just happens. I actually been in a very happy relationship, like following this exact strategy. You know, so he's like, oh, you're this, but you look only at the action. And then the guy's like, okay, I gave you my top BS, the top 10, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. You are still just smiling at me. We can't read you. We get intrigued. We don't understand what's going on, you know? They're like, how come you're not falling for this? And you're just like, I like to take things slow, you know? That's it. So if he, on the other hand, doesn't get into your pants and he ghosts you, then you lost nothing. You know, he just didn't get to play you, you know? But if he sticks around, if he doesn't get into your pants and he sticks around, it means he's intrigued by you because he cannot play you. Because, ladies, you have to take responsibility for yourself. You cannot just be like, Greta, he manipulated me. He said he's the hero. He said, I know you. He promised me about holidays and I slept with him and he's gone. He is horrible. He's a narcissist, blah, blah. But ladies, why did you sleep with him? Why did you sleep with a stranger on a first night? Why? Why did you sleep with a stranger on a second night? You have to be smart, you have to be logical, you know. It's like you have to take responsibility for your own very immature and very foolish behavior. It's not just him to blame, it takes two. One of my clients said, Greta, he is making me see him at the last minute. Greta, he is controlling me. I'm like, hun, is he putting a gun to your head? And she's like, I'm like, is he holding a gun to your head? He's like, no. So take responsibility. You don't want to be controlled, don't be controlled. You don't want to see him at the last minute, don't see him at the last minute. He asks you out at the last minute, say, I would love to see you, but I have plans. Let me know in advance. What is he gonna do? He's gonna come to your house and drag you on a date? No. He's gonna might get irritated, he might step back, he might ghost you, then come back, he might have a tantrum. But if he really likes you, he will ask you out in advance. You have to take responsibility. You know, it takes two to tango. And then, yeah, next. Next game is bill split. So this happened recently to my client again, and I'll tell you, I'll tell you a couple stories about bill split. So my client literally she today went on a date and she texted me, Greta, we went bowling and he said, why don't you go ahead and book bowling? I have to go get some cash out. Meaning, why don't you go ahead and go to the till and pay for bowling, like 30 pounds or something, while I get some cash out? So my client is smart. She's like, oh, Greta, I already want to get out of it. She's texting me while on a date. She's like, I want to get out of it. It's crazy. He's already trying to make me pay. She said, but I acted dumb. I acted silly. Like, and so she leaves me a voice message from a bathroom saying, like, Greta, I said to Greta, she said, he came back with like the cash from from the cash machine. And she said, oh, he said, did you book the bowling? Oh, I got a voice message and I needed to reply to my friend. So I went to the bathroom and yeah, the voice message was just so long and I didn't have the time. So she played dumb and was laughing so much on the other side. It's hilarious. So then he went and paid for bowling, right? But he was trying to trick her into going to pay for it, right? She's like, Greta, I'm not paying. There's no way I'm paying. I'm gonna play dumb and let's see what happens. So this is what she did. And he went and paid. He went and paid. Then 15 minutes later, she sends me a picture, because now she's in the bathroom again texting me. She sends me a picture of one drink and some snacks. And she says, can you imagine? He went and got himself a drink and some snacks. And I said, did he offer you like anything? She's like, nothing. Like he's like, she didn't offer me anything. And then I'm like, I just said to her, if I were you, I would just tell him I feel sick. I would go home and on our way home, I would block him. Anyway, 5 minutes later, she sends me another message saying, Greta, I was really high value and I didn't react to anything. I just did not react. I thought I'm not going to see him again. I'm just not going to react. And my client, I've been coaching her for a few years now, and she always overreacts. She always calls guys out. She always shouts at them. She always overreacts. And she says, Greta, I didn't react to any of this. And she says, like, he bought me some chicken. So she's like, can't believe how much your advice works, just to be calm and not to call guys out and not to show that you're upset or that you're bothered, and she's not gonna see him again. But this is kind of what we're dealing with, guys. With these type of things, we testing, will you split the bill? We provoke you, to see will you react. Obviously, this is actually a complete loser. This guy is a complete loser. On top of that, she did say, Greta, he's really unattractive on top of that. And ladies, what's really funny, I hear, oh, this, sorry, I can't curse. I don't curse, but I can curse. When I get in a heave, I sometimes slips. Anyway, what really annoys me? I see many dating coaches online saying that, watch out for good-looking men. Oh, good-looking men are terrible. Good-looking men are terrible. It's better to have an ugly man, but he is good at heart, blah, blah, blah. From my experience and my clients' experience, the guys that are really bad looking, they are terrible. Like Chengi was visiting me. Chengi is from Black Swan Relationship Academy. She said, Greta, as my mom says, ugly inside out. If he's ugly outside, he's ugly inside. And I was like, you are so right. And this is something that we're getting wrong. A lot of women assume that if he is not a good looking guy, that he's gonna be kind and he's gonna be nice. This is now, maybe in the past, when we lived in stronger values, then there weren't that many pickup artist books because it was illegal, right? To sleep with a woman and to dump her, it was illegal before. Like you slept with her, you didn't marry her, right? So the pickup artist books were illegal. So when a guy was not very good looking, majority of time he was kinder and nicer. And back then, maybe yes, it made sense to go towards somebody that's a bit kinder and not that arrogant as, let's say, a good looking guy. Nowadays, because of the pickup artist books, because of all the men that teaching men how to play games and how to use women and manipulative strategies for toxic manipulation, like put her down, negate her, put her down, destroy her soul. If she's beautiful, just put her down, show her that you're like whatever, you're not that pretty and stuff. It's actually these not good looking men that are actually nasty. Same as my client said, like, Greta, he's not even good looking. She said, he's actually, so sorry, ladies, I don't mean to be rude, but she said, Greta, he's ugly. And he didn't even pay for bowling. He ordered himself food. And like, what is this? you know? And it's these type of guys that actually read these pickup artist books that do strategy by strategy by strategy. And the reason is this type of nasty strategy is kind of like, I'm not trying to impress you. Because as a beautiful woman, you would assume that a guy that's not that good looking, you would assume that he's going to try to impress you. But he's like, I'm not trying to impress you. And when you're not trying to impress a pretty woman that's with a guy that's not too good looking, then she gets intrigued. That's what it says in the pickup artist books, that this girl would get intrigued. And because she gets intrigued and you're playing with her mind, she gets addicted to you, she gets obsessed with you. So this was the strategy that the guy was trying to kind of get my client, and obviously she's my client. So thank you, next. Doesn't work. When you know the game, it doesn't work. It gets like, Anyway, I'm gonna share with you another story. It's quite funny. It happened to me actually a long time ago in London, maybe now 7 years ago or something like that. But it's so funny. I'm just kind of like, it's hilarious. What happened? I'm gonna tell you the whole story. It's gonna make it very short, but it's ridiculous and funny at the same time. I was in a club with a girl, with a friend, and I had a few drinks. And there was a guy that approached me, and I only saw his face. Like I looked at him, and he's like, "Hi," and like I had few drinks. Usually I'm good with drinks, and this time I was good, but I saw him literally for a split second, right? I just saw his face, like roughly, right? And I was in a rush, and he's like, "Hi, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in a rush." And he's like, "Can I have your number?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I gave him my number because I saw him just for that split second, just the face and my height. I'm tall, I'm 6'3", so he was my height and his face. And I go, right? And he starts to text me and he's like, "Oh, can I take you on a date? Blah, 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 blah." And I'm just remembering just that face, right? And I'm like, "Oh, he was kind of cute, why not?" And I go on a date and I see him from afar and I'm just like, "Oh, no, 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 no." Like like, no. I don't mean to be mean, but I'm sorry. Just not my type. Nothing, 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 nothing about him. Like, I'm just like, no, but I'm gonna be polite. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be kind, right? We go for little snacks to this place. And I don't order much with guys ever, unless I'm in a relationship and we know each other. I like a, bit here, a bit there. It depends, right? It depends. Anyway, with this guy, I thought like a little bit here, a little bit there. So I ordered just a little bit, right? The waiter comes, and it's a guy waiter, and the guy, so he goes to the bathroom, right? And when he comes back, And then the waiter comes, and the waiter puts the bill, like the bill, it's a posh place. The waiter puts the bill, like the bill on my side of the table, like literally on my plate to me, right? Like this to me. And I'm like, I was already a coach, and I'm sitting there, I'm ignoring, like I didn't see this thing, I'm ignoring this thing, and I'm talking to this guy, right? And you can see that I'm like completely ignoring it, right? So he leans and he takes the bill, right? And then he pays. And at the same time, because I seen it all, like the games I heard, ladies, I know like I don't know what, like it's, I heard so many things. I'm not shocked by anything, right? So I get in my head, there's like thoughts just going, and I'm just thinking like, okay, this is a posh restaurant. The waiter was handsome, actually, handsome waiter with manners, putting the bill on my side of the table with this guy, right? And it's like literally on my plate. And I'm just thinking like, this guy went to the bathroom 5 minutes before the bill came. Did he actually talk to the waiter and told the waiter to give me the bill? This was literally like thoughts running in my head. Obviously, I said nothing because it's an assumption after all. Maybe the waiter was dumb, which I would be very surprised because there's no dumb waiters anymore in London, posh places. Anyway, takes the bill, he pays, right? Then he says, let me take you to this rooftop. Very, very nice place. You can see the whole Trafalgar Square. Maybe you guys who are in London, maybe you'll know where you literally sit on this rooftop place, you know, like it's very posh, very nice, of a hotel. And you see the whole like Trafalgar Square. Very beautiful. So he takes me there. We sit on a balcony and he gets a glass of champagne. And then he gets another glass of champagne, right? And then, and then we talk a bit, blah, blah, blah. I was wearing a very red lipstick. Then I wear a red lipstick. Then I have an excuse, like if a guy tries to kiss me, I'm like, no, no, the red lipstick, the red lipstick. You know, it's like, and when you convince them, it's like, that's my excuse usually. No, red lipstick. Anyway, he says, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, right? And as he's going to the bathroom, he asks the waitress for the bill, right? So he stops the waitress and he says, can you like bring the bill? So as he's in the bathroom, the waitress brings the bill and she puts it on the table, literally on my table, on the table, right? And it's opened, right? It's opened. And as the bill is there, he comes back from the bathroom. As he's coming back from the bathroom, the first thing he looks at is the bill. Literally the first thing. I can see like his eyes like that, right? And I'm again just sitting there acting dumb. Best thing in the world. Acting not dumb, but like, I don't know. You know, like my client went like, I just called my friend, just I had to do the voice note because like, you know, he comes in and I'm like, I really need to go to the bathroom now, you know, and I like go to the bathroom just to leave this awkward situation, right? I come back from the bathroom, the bill is paid. So he tried to trick me twice in paying the bill, right? Obviously, I didn't see him. And then he started to text me, and I stopped replying to him, obviously. And then I could see he was being cool, like he would not text me for a few days. I can see like he's being cool, like he's trying to play the game. And I ignored him and he lost it. He lost it. He started to send me essays, like long essays, voice messages, calling me and stuff like that. I'm like, now your personality is showing up. Now the game has stopped. Now your pickup artist book that you were reading, how to be cool and how to play the game. Now everything is bloody clear. Now you can see you lost me. I would have never, but you know. So it's just the games, and you ladies, you need to be aware of these games, you know. Um, Game number 3. My friend did that. My friend did that, and if you're watching, it's a guy. Still love you to the moon and back, but that was nasty. But I'm gonna share what he did. This was a long time ago in London. He tells me, this was before I was a dating coach. I already knew the stuff, but I wasn't a dating coach then, right? So he tells me this. He came out, he was so proud. He said, Greta, I went to a club and I talked to this girl, and he said, you know what I did? He said, like, she was my type, and I gave her compliments and blah 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 and blah blah. And he said, I told her, oh, I'm so happy to meet you, etc., etc. And he's like, I can't believe I met you. Come to mine. We have to celebrate. I have champagne at home, so much champagne. We have to celebrate. Now, my friend always looked, my friend was from Middle East. So he was in a suit, like top suits all the time, right? And I'm just listening. I'm just thinking like, oh, this guy, he played somebody like, and he's, yeah. Anyway, and when he tells me he took the bus with her at about midnight to get from the club. In the bus, he purposely fell asleep because he was not bothered to talk to her, right? So he said, "Oh, I just, I fell asleep." That's what this is how he showed me. And Greta, I slept the whole time. So it was like he was like on a high that this game worked. I slept the whole time. She wanted to, I just slept. And he said, and she came to my flat, and she said, where is the champagne? Oh, you said you have champagne. Where is the champagne, right? And he said, like, he's like, I opened my cupboards. Oh, the champagne, it's all gone. Yes, I forgot. Yesterday we had a party and we drank it all, right? There was never a champagne. The guy doesn't drink. Sorry. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. He slept with her. The next day, he basically he told her to leave. And as he told her to leave, she said to him, do you have a girlfriend? And he said to her, no, I don't have a girlfriend. Basically, he said to her, I just don't give a shit. That's what he said. And this is very mean, obviously, this is very mean. And I'm not justifying my, the guy friend at all. If I, like, it was so good to me. It was so good. So I can't say anything bad about him, but I'm not justifying him at all. I'm just sharing what he was sharing with me. And the girl, obviously, she fell in a trap. She was naive. But my point is, games like guys play, they are, you have to be careful. You have to be wise. You just have to be wise. Going forward, vulnerabilities. Okay. This happened to me, another guy, one date. So the dates I'm telling you, right, these are the guys I never cared about because I literally had just one date with them each. Like one date, one date, one date, never again. So this one was one date. We go on a date. He walks in circles. He's like 50. He's 50, right? 50 years old. And I'm just thinking by 50, you should not really, if we're going for a walk in central London where it's packed with restaurants, like, after 15 minutes, I'd like, can we like pop into somewhere for a drink? Anyway, half an hour or 40 minutes, bloody walking and talking. I'm just like, oh dear, like you're 50, you seem cool. You like, anyway. Finally, he says, would you like to have a drink? I'm like, finally, we walk into the place. And the woman looks at me and she says to him, she says to him, oh, she's so beautiful. Wow. I think she said your girlfriend is so beautiful. And I was like, oh, thank you, And he looked so angry that she gave me a compliment. And I was already a dating coach. That was like 2020 London. And I was like, because I saw his look that he's angry because a woman gave me a compliment. I'm like, huh, first a red flag. Besides all that walking in circle, it basically means you're insecure of a woman giving me a compliment. A secure man would be like, yes, of course, she's beautiful. She's blah, blah, blah. He would have been lifting me up. That's a secure man. He would have been confident, not intimidated. He would have been like happy that somebody gave me a compliment. An insecure man, he's terrified. You know, he's weak, he's terrified, right? So this is first red flag that the guy you with, he's bloody insecure and terrified, and he's gonna be putting you down. When somebody gives you a compliment, he gets like terrified. Number one thing, right? As we bloody talk, he says to me, he's like, I'm like, you know, casually talking. He says to me, so what are your vulnerabilities? First date, what are your vulnerabilities? And I'm like, I don't have any. His face dropped, like dropped. And like, honey, wrong person here to manipulate and play with. Like, I'm like, I don't have any. And his face like dropped, right? Anyway, now that is my whole point about this one. What are your vulnerabilities? A man that is toxic, he will ask you, what are your vulnerabilities? Because when women share their vulnerabilities, they feel like they bonding with a man. They feel the connection. So then he will want to, like, if he wants you to connect to him, to get closer to him, he might ask you for more intimate things. And when you will share these things, you'll be like, okay, I shared these things, so I feel more connected, right? And then, but the guy doesn't feel more connected. And if anything, vulnerabilities are such a, usually it's insecurities or traumas or anything like that. So it's nothing that attracts a man, right? If anything, you sharing these things, you'll feel closer, whereas he will actually get a bit put off by it. And on top of that, if you actually will end up in a relationship together and the fight happens, an argument happens, anything happens, he's gonna kill you with the on these vulnerabilities. He'll dig at you. He'll know your weak spots, and in the argument, he'll dig at them. He'll accuse you of things, he'll blame you of things, he'll call you all kinds of names, he'll use it against you. So when it comes to vulnerability, sharing your vulnerabilities, you work on these things. You get a therapist, you get a trauma specialist, you work on these things. You have issues, sort them out so you're not vulnerable anymore. But don't go to a man sharing your vulnerabilities, because first of all, it's unattractive to him. Second, he can manipulate you, he can use these vulnerabilities against you in an argument. And third, you'll actually feel more closer to the guy when you're sharing them, but it will actually turn him off, right? This is not a girl. When girls share vulnerabilities together, oh, I'm vulnerable like this, you're vulnerable like this, now we're more connected, we feel like besties, la la la. Not with a guy. With a guy is different, right? So don't have this relationship with guys. Work on your vulnerabilities. So him asking me, what are your vulnerabilities? It was a strategy to get me to bond to him more, for him to have information about me, whatever I could have something, you know, and then use it against me, you know, etc., etc. It's a huge red flag in dating. Now this is from my other client. She sent me a WhatsApp message. She said, Greta, I don't understand, because I sent all the thank you everyone. I'll look through your comments after I finish with all of these points. It's just a couple more, so I'll look through your comments. If you have any comments about games that you want to share, like read it, put it here. And actually, when I'll finish this video, if you have any comments that you want to share a game or something, a situation, put it as a comment under my video. I'll read through it. It's always fun because we're teaching each other. We other ladies are learning as well, you know. Anyway, my client said, she said, I was on a date and he was really, really into me, right? And she said, he seemed like he's really, really into me. And she said, but after the date, he barely is texting me, he barely is liking my stories. Now, you know, ladies, when I go on a date, I will only know is the guy into me when he asks me out for another date, right? So, because a lot of men practice things. We go on dates and we don't feel like he's that into you, but he might practice some things on you, or he might pretend to be into you, you know, but you actually never know. You can't pretend so easily. There is even this book written by, I don't remember who, but it's called How to Be Liked and Influence People, right? I'm very bad with names, but wow, like you can go out and practice and seem like you're really into this person and etc. But you're just practicing, you're just being nice, you're just, you know, whatever. To actually know is the guy into you or not, has he asked you out on another date? Like, do you have a date with him like next week? At least next week. As does he want to see you in 3 days? In 3 days, you know, that's when you'll know he actually is into you, because he's asking you for another date. If he has not asked you for another date, you just had a good date, enjoy the moment, have fun, have a laughter, whatever it is. The date is finished, bye bye, whatever. He's just liking your stories, he's not that into you. Basically, it's like that. It's like whatever. In fact, ladies, think about it like this. You want to know, is a guy actually into you? He asks you out on a date. Um, asks you out on a date. He makes an effort to take you somewhere nice. When he asks you out on another date, he asks you out on another date. He is consistent and is going out of his way to do things for you. Then you actually know a guy is into you. Before that, you like whatever, you're the most beautiful, wow, you're a supermodel, wow, you're, oh, you know, I'll marry you tomorrow, wow, whatever else, wow, over your head. You just go like, oh thanks, but you don't pay, like you don't take it as a real thing. Everything you let go over your head. He asked you on a date, he made an interesting date. Now you're maybe in my head. You know, he asked you on a second date, what's your name again? You know, like before that, you don't even need to remember his name. By the second date, oh yeah, oh, so his name is this. That's how you date. Another one. Okay, so ladies, games are really important. I have a games video for sale with so many games and how to handle these games the right way so you come out on top. It's on my website for sale. So if you want to get it, just check the link in my video description. It's called Games Men Play, for sale on my website, along with many other videos such as From Single to a Healthy Relationship, differences between men and women, how to get your ex back, healthy boundaries, things like that. Like all these videos are for sale on my website. I even have a high value women course for sale, how to become a woman of high value. So check it out if you're interested. Now going to another one. This one was said by my client as well. She said, Greta, I have been very, very high value with the guy. She said, I've been really good with him for 2 years. We are in a happy, healthy, successful relationship, etc., etc. She says, for these 2 years, I've been applying all your strategies, all your tips. I have a most amazing relationship. But she says, Greta, the first year was fantastic. He was making an effort, he was taking me out, he was buying me gifts, etc., etc., right? She says, Second year, I'm starting to feel he's not making that much effort. The gifts are, she's like, he hasn't bought me a gift for since the last 6 months. She's like, I'm feeling things are off. Like, why? What's going on? Ladies, I'm gonna tell you the truth that I don't tell a lot of times. Have a timeline in dating. You're not married. If you're dating, have a timeline. If you're young, like your 20s, it's different. I get it. It's different. If you are over 40, if you're over 30, have a timeline in dating. Don't date a man longer than maximum a year and a half. You know why? Because if you stay around for longer, he'll start to take you a bit for granted, right? And when you're dating, you're on a high, you go on this date, you go on this trip, you do this, you do this, you do that, right? Now, after a year and a half, if you're dating, you're continuing to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. You're like, okay, but I did that. I've been there. I did this. I done that. You're actually, it's like you get stagnant. You're doing the same thing, like you're not moving. Like for example, with business, this is why it says people get drained or we get bored, right? So when you do the same thing over and over and when you don't upgrade. So the same in dating. After a year and a half, technically I would say a year, but a year and a half is understandable as well. 2 years, a bit too much. A year and a half, sweet spot. If after a year and a half you're still in a relationship, you're doing the same thing over and over again, it starts to get boring. The effort is not that much. Like if he didn't propose to you after a year, thank you, next. A year and a half, sorry. If he didn't propose to you after a year and a half, I feel like it's time to go different ways. Why, babe? But I love you so much. Well, I just feel it's time to go different ways. That's it. He's a smart guy. He'll figure it out. If he wants to know, do you want to marry him? Oh, so you want to get married? I just think it's time to go different ways. Like, bloody, if you want to know, do I want to marry you or not? Propose to me and I'll tell you. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You have to ask a question to find out, right? Like, but if there is no proposal for a year and a half, you can't, like things start to go down. You can't create, you can't build. It's getting bloody boring. Why you want to leave? Because I'm getting bored. There is no upgrade. Like, it's how long can I drive the same Bugatti in circles? Even the Bugatti gets boring in circles. Take another turn, babe. If you're not taking it, sorry, thank you, next. And ladies, you know what? You have to be tough like that. Because when you're tough like that and he can't figure you out completely, that's when he is treating you right. When you're too nice, oh, I love you so much. Oh, I love you. You're the love of my life. You're my sunshine. I'll do everything and anything for you. You'll be like, oh, this girl will wait forever. I can be in a relationship with her 10, 20, 30 years. I can have 5 kids with her. She'll still wait forever. She's so nice. She'll never leave me. But if you are keeping your feelings a bit to yourself, you can say, thank you, next. You have a boundary. You'll be like, she's not going to wait forever. I can see her. Where are you? Who you with? What you're doing? I'm coming. Yeah, I have plans for the weekend because I don't know where you're gonna go. And not to be mean that you're gonna do something wrong, but then you keep a guy a bit like you don't give it all to him because he's not your husband, right? And you didn't make your vows for better, and worse and all of that, honey, you're on the edge. You're on the edge. I'm ignoring my own feelings because I have to. It doesn't mean I don't feel things. I feel things, but I'm ignoring my feelings. I'm ignoring my emotions because logically speaking, we just dating. We just in a relationship. There is no security. So I have to stay logical. If I'll be in my feelings, if I'll be in my emotions, you'll walk all over me. We might get married 50 years later. We may not get married 50 years later. You'll start to cheat on me. I will start to lose emotional control. I will keep talking about my feelings and emotions. I will get like all crazy and blah. Ignore your feelings, ignore your emotions. It says in the Bible, don't listen to your heart because your heart is incredibly wicked. Who can know it, right? The heart is wicked. Who can know it? I'm sure I'm saying it a little bit wrong. If you know the Bible verse, put it down here. But it's like, don't guard your heart. It says, guard your heart. So don't be wearing all your vulnerabilities, all your emotions. Oh, I feel this, I feel this, I feel that, blah, blah, blah. Don't do any of that. Guard it, right? And on top of that, it says, your heart is wicked. Your heart can be easily manipulated, right? Same as going back to the game, right? Why, when guys playing games on you, what do they focus on? Your heart. What do you feel? When I was naive, early 20s, obviously I was naive. Otherwise, I wouldn't be coaching you. I was naive. I did things wrong. I learned. Right now, I'm coaching. If I wasn't naive, I wouldn't be able to relate to you ladies. It would be harder to coach. I can coach because I was there before, right? So when I was naive in my early 20s, this guy used to manipulate me, and I fell for it. Greta, just listen to your heart, right? I just came to UK from Lithuania. Nobody ever told me to listen to my heart. In Lithuania, people don't say that. People are strong. We don't say listen to your heart, listen to your emotions. We're like, we don't have time for this fluff. But I come to UK and I hear this, Greta, just listen to your heart. And I'm thinking, oh, listen to my heart. Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, he's so nice. Listen to my heart. Oh, just do as my heart tells me to do. Oh, so sweet. And what happened? I listened to my heart. I listened to my feelings and emotions, got played left, right, and center. And then comes again. Just listen to your heart. You dump the guy eventually, right? Comes back, because we always bloody come back. And when he comes again with the same story, just listen to the heart. So he could play you left, right, and center again. So it's like this guys play you on this listen to your heart. The heart. Oh, the heart. We all play about the heart, right? Oh, the heart, emotions, vulnerabilities. What do you feel? When he wants to play you, what do you feel? When he gets things from you and you actually go to him, I feel this, I feel this. And he's like, I don't care about your feelings. Too many feelings. Keep your feelings to yourself. Go talk to your girlfriend. Because now he got what he wanted. Now he doesn't care about your feelings. But when he didn't get to what he wanted, what do you feel? Just listen to your heart. What does your heart tell you? Same as going back, as I said, to this dating game, right? A man is saying like, I'm her hero, I know you. So he's like, the hero, picture of the hero. He saved the puppy, he saved this woman from drowning. Wow, listening to my heart. Wow, what a cool guy. He's strong and masculine, and he saved a woman, and he's got a good heart. He saved this puppy. I'm listening to my heart. I'm naive, right? I know you. Oh, you know me. He said, I know you. Ooh, maybe he feels what I feel. Ooh, he must like me. He saw how I am, what I look, my body language. He knows me. My client said, Greta, he knew me straight away. I was like, seriously, how does he know you? Has he been in your, like, through your childhood, through your teenage years? Has he seen you? Does he know? No, he knows you because he's manipulating you. He feels like, oh, listen, I know you. Women like to say, I know you. What else? Holidays. Oh, the holidays. We feeding the monkeys bananas. The monkey here. Oh, he hugs me. We holding hands. We in this beautiful sea location. He's all over me on the beach. Blah. Listen to my heart. And then he's like, got her. Go on a date. Splits the bill. But you're like, oh, but maybe this time he forgot his wallet. Oh no, you just had to go to the loo. He just had to go to the loo. I was kind and I paid for it. You're listening to your heart. That's what happens. And then he's like, okay, right. So thank you next. And then he goes to another girl like, ooh, I'm a hero. I'm blah, 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 blah. That's what happens when you listen to your heart. When you look at things logically, so you're still like, as my client was like, I just went to the bathroom, I just had to leave a voice note to my friend, dating coach. Just had to leave a quick note to my friend, right? And then he goes and pays for bowling, and she's like, oh, thank you. Right? Oh dear. Okay, another one. Let me give you one more. If you lost emotional control before, he will remember and he will provoke you. Ladies, for the ones that are trying to fix relationships, or maybe you've been dating a guy, right? Okay, let me give you myself as an example. Let's say I was naive in my 20s, right? And I did things wrong. I listened to my heart and I was naive and blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, we know me. And now let's say if a guy I dated in my 20s, let's say he doesn't know what I do, he doesn't know or doesn't believe, right? And he thinks like, okay, I remember Greta. Ooh, coming after her, it's gonna be easy. I'll just tell her, you're the one, you're the most beautiful. Oh wow, this connection, we'll talk on a phone for hours and hours and ding, that's it, right? He's gonna come back and he'll remember how I used to be, what I used to say, what I used to follow, how I used to behave, where I would react, where I would get emotional, where I would get jealous, where I would get insecure, etc., etc. So he's gonna come to me with this knowledge of me of, let's say, 22 years old, right? Or 23, right? And he's gonna come to me and he's gonna start applying these same strategies that he applied on me before, right? Because he's still assuming that I'm the same girl because he didn't experience me, let's say now, right? So he didn't think that I mature and grow. He's just assuming I'm the same because a lot of people stay the same. So a lot of people actually don't grow. We don't mature. We don't learn. We don't educate, right? So he'll come to me and he'll be like, oh, same strategies. And I'm just like, oh, goes over my head, but I'm still polite, right? Tries to make me jealous. No reaction here. He's like, Greta, not reacting. Greta, just listen to your heart. I don't say like, oh, you told me to listen to my heart. I'm not going to listen to my heart. How dare you tell me this? You're trying to control me. You think I'm naive. No, Greta's going to be, listen to my heart. So sweet, right? You're playing along. You play along, but you behave a high value way, calm, chilled, but you do the right thing, right? And then he's like, okay, I can't play her. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. But she's still sweet and nice. And now he's falling for me because he's intrigued. He's like, okay, she's not naive. She carries herself well. She's smart. She does the right thing. can't play her. I can't have her heart. Where's Greta? What she's up to? She's not oversharing. She's not talking on a phone every day, every single day. So there is mystery, right? He'll try to make you jealous. You look a bit bored, it goes over your head. He's like, I can't read her anymore. You don't wear your heart on a sleeve. So you're not saying, oh, where do we stand? Or, I'm looking for a relationship. He's like, oh, I don't even know. Does she like me anymore? Does she want a relationship with me? And then he gets into this pursuit. Okay, maybe I need to charm her more. Maybe I need to give her more attention. Maybe I need to give her more affection. Maybe I need to upgrade the dating scene. Maybe I need to buy her a gift. And then he starts going out of his way for you. And then he starts falling for you because he starts to see you not as naive, but a smart, mature, confident woman. And this is, ladies, how guys actually decide, are you a relationship material or not? So if you're listening to your heart and you're played left, right, and center, it's too boring for him to make you into a relationship material. But if you're not played, if you're smart, but you're still calm and collected and etc., he's like, this is interesting. He's thinking about you. He's curious about you. You're a challenge. Like, he can't figure you out. You're not overreacting. You have emotional control. You let him pursue you. You let him charm you. He's investing into you. You're not complaining. It's like you have your own life. You're strong in your beliefs. You can stand on your 2 feet. And then it's a whole new story. And the same guy that was taking you for granted and came going, Greta, listen to your heart. And that was that. Now would go like, oh, Greta, will you be my girlfriend? Oh, Greta, will you marry me? It's the same guy. Why? You're just behaving differently. So because you're behaving differently, his attraction towards you is different. Here the attraction was like, how can I use her? She's cute, she's hot, we connect, but how can I use her? Here the attraction is like, wow, this is incredible. I can't figure her out. I'm attracted. I love her. I love her. I love her. That's the difference. I want her as something very serious. That's how things work. So, ladies, that's my life for today. Don't listen to your heart. If you want some one-on-one coaching, I'm available for coaching, of course. You just book me over my website. Choose the package you like. I have 15 minutes, 40 minutes, not half an like I have 15 minutes, 40 minutes, monthly packages. I have everyday package, but that's for very special clients. And I have all kinds of videos for sale, games men play, how to go from single to a healthy relationship, differences between men and women. That's very important if you're already in a relationship or you're married, differences between men and women. That's really good. If you're single, get a video from single to a happy relationship. Games video if you live London, New York, LA, Paris, Berlin. Games videos, like games videos, you have to get that. Boundaries, obviously, yeah. Get wisdom, that's more valuable than gold. Yeah, exactly. Wisdom, yeah, you have to be wise. You have to be wise. You have to educate yourself. If you don't educate yourself, you're gonna be played. Like when I lived in Lithuania, I only lived there until 17, right? So I lived my longer life. I'm 41 now. So what is it? 24 years I lived abroad. 24 years. I think 24, right? I think so. Right? So, when I lived in Lithuania and when I came to, I was in Ireland first and when I came to UK, I didn't know any games. And Lithuanian men don't play games. And Lithuanian men, Lithuanian men game, it's 10% of what we have here. Like it's nice. It's actually cute and nice. Lithuanian men do not play games. Compared to compared to what we have here, it's so nice. So it didn't even came to my mind that a man could play a game with me. And I was raised in a circle of very good men, of men that were protecting me, of men that would do whatever for, like my dad was ultra protective. Everyone was terrified of him. I didn't have to set in any boundaries. I didn't have to protect myself. I was like, I just have a dad. Like, that's all I need. What boundaries you're talking about? I'll just tell my dad, you know? Like, and if not my dad, my cousin. Even now, my cousin, he lives in Wales. My cousin lives in Wales. I was a bit scared, a little bit once. I went on a date, didn't go well. Was like, I'm scared. I ghosted the guy and I just got a bit scared. And my cousin just felt the same thing, right, I'm coming. And it's like the cousin from, like, he lives in Wales. And I was just like, it made me feel so good. I was like, wow, I feel this protection that I only felt when I lived in Lithuania, you know? Like, don't have it here, you know? He's like, why are you scared? Oh, I'm coming. He's like, no, nobody's gonna like threaten you, you know? So it's like, and I was raised in these kind of guys that were protecting women. We were literally, we would, if a woman is doing well, right? Like my mom was European basketball player. She was sporty. She was the most beautiful woman in basically in Europe in basketball team. She was voted the most beautiful woman in European basketball team. Like when she won the championship, right? When the team won the championship. And she got married to my dad, who was a very successful rower, right? And all his life, so I'm not saying my parents are not perfect at all, you know, like lots of issues, etc., etc. But all his life, he was praising my mom. He was lifting her up every single time whenever he talked about her being so good in basketball. Anywhere we would go, he would be like, yes, my wife, European champion 3 times. Yes, my wife, European champion. My wife, my wife, European champion 3 times, right? And my mom would just go like, you know, like, because my mom was very, just stunning. Ah, ah, ah. That was my mom, right? And he left, like, her achievements, he lifted them up to the sky. Why? Because men in Lithuania, we are not intimidated by women. We have zero intimidation towards women. If a woman is doing well, he'll lift you up to the skies because we don't compete. We don't think we are the same, wherefore we don't compete. It's not a competition, you know? So because it's not a competition, you can lift her up, but you know you're a man, you know, because you know you the man that's confident, and if my mom freaks out, you will be the one protecting her, looking after her, giving her safety and security, because she's still a woman, she's still vulnerable. You're just lifting her up so she feels good, you know. So, and in here we don't have this here. And here a man lifting you up, you know, like, it's very rare. It's very, very rare. You know, if I think about actually the guys I dated, only one guy, he lifted me up to the skies. Like, he's just like anything, he's just Greta to the top. You know, about the only guy. All the other ones were always intimidated, always like slightly put you down, slightly put you down, slightly put you down, slightly put you down. In Lithuania, men from my family, we were all lifting women up. All of them. My cousin is now married to the same cousin from Wales is married to a wife. She's Irish. She's the best. Yeah, she's great. She's the best. He lifts her up. He's not intimidated whatsoever. It's a woman. He's like, how can you be intimidated by a woman? You can lift her up. Lift her to the skies. It's a woman. Like, there's no intimidation. Men here, they so intimidated, they so insecure. They, you know, a woman gives you a compliment, he gives you a dirty look. Hold on a minute. You want me to come like looking ugly here? I can do that. I can come in my pajamas, no makeup, whatever, you know? You know? Oh, are you gonna be happy now because you feel secure? Like, it's ridiculous. It's just so, it's so crazy. So my point was, I had to learn everything here. I had to learn how to maneuver this because there was nobody to protect me. There was nobody to sit in a boundary for me. I had no idea about any kind of games. Lying in Lithuania is considered very, very shameful. When you caught lying, you're shamed. Lying was shameful, at least when I was growing up, right? Lying was shameful. She's a lie. He lied. You lied. You promised me to do something and you didn't do it. You lied. Big deal. Big, big, big deal. You're gonna be so shamed you'll never promise anything unless you bloody do it. Here, promises. I teach you, let the promises go over your head, because if you're gonna pay attention to promises, you will live your life completely disappointed. Because here, man, promise you the world on a first, third, second date, we couldn't care less to deliver. So you let it go. It's so common, you let it go over your head. And you just pay attention to action. Friends with benefits. When I came here, when I started to date here, I was like early 20s, right? Friends, I heard about friends with benefits, right? I thought like, friends with benefits. How shameful. How could somebody insult you like that? Like, does he think I'm like a whore? Does he, like, I thought it's like the biggest insult a man could give to a woman is to see like, I want friends with benefits. I was like, because it's like so shameful. Even to offer it to a woman, you just want to bloody punch a guy in the face so he would bloody bleed. How disrespectful, right? Whew. Oh dear. It's so, it's so normalized here. To insult a woman like that is so normalized here, right? It's normal. Anyway, I don't know why I got so like, I think I just remembered like a bit of long, you know, like when I came and everything, how everything was a shock. Then you normalize it, you normalize everything, you normalize, okay, friends with benefit. Now you say to me, friends with benefit goes over my head. Oh, my head. Oh, fuck off. Sorry. Over your head, right? Right. But when you come from a culture where something like this is so like, I never heard of the term friends with benefits in my life. When I came here, I started to hear of friends with benefits. And I thought, what on earth could be more shameful than that? Right? It's so normalized. And now people don't even do that. We just have hookups. We just hook up. Hookups. It's normal. Another client said to me, she said, Greta, men really don't care nowadays. We really just don't care. We change girls so quickly. We really just don't care, you know? How can you care? For a man to fall in love with a woman, right? He needs to pursue her. He needs to invest into her. He needs to take her on the dates. Obviously, he needs to be attracted to her. He needs to connect to her, etc., right? It's investment. It takes time, maybe even months to for a man to fall in love with a woman. It's about 3 months to actually fall in love and develop feelings if you behave correctly, right? How can men fall in love now? How? You sleep with the guy within a week. He's like, okay, thank you, next. It becomes robotic. It's all robotic. There's no challenge. There's no investment. There's nothing. Next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. It's impossible. Everything's so easy. It's like, of course it's gonna be hard for him to fall in love. It's like nobody's fulfilling. Like a woman doesn't know how to fulfill a guy's love needs. How can he fall in love with her? You need to know how to fulfill his love needs. If you don't know how to fulfill his love needs, he's not gonna fall in love with you. And majority of men actually never even experienced love, real true love, you know? And for women, actually now the similar thing is happening because men are not fulfilling our love needs. So in the past, women were a bit more naive, right? So women didn't know the differences between men and women. So we were like not able to fulfill a guy's love needs because girls would act like with men like with other girls, so a guy would get turned off. But what's happening now, I realized men don't know how to fulfill a woman's love needs. So smart women, high value women are not falling in love. I don't like to be in love. I don't remember when I was in love. It was very, very long time ago. Do I have suitors? Of course I do. Do I get men approaching me? Of course I do. The last time a guy charmed me, 12 years ago. The last time a guy charmed me so much, I actually started to develop feelings for him 12 years ago. You go on dates now, guys don't know how to be with you, so you would actually start to develop something for him. You know, we don't know how to give you compliments. We don't know how to blah. They give you two compliments and we drag you to bed. Hold on a minute, mister. Not feeling it. Charm me, take me on dates, pursue me, buy me a gift, show me you care. You know, call me, listen to me, make an effort, talk to me, text me every day. Pick me up, drop me off, open the doors for me, open the car doors for me, surprise, like make an effort, show me you care, treat me nice, treat me gent-like. Where is that? It's gone. Men treat women like blokes. Okay, that doesn't work with me, so whatever, go treat someone else like bloke. You know, what else? Do they give you compliments? Some guys don't give you any compliments. We just go like, oh, let's go have sex. Sometimes in London, you will get that too. Just direct like that. And other guys will give you compliments, but we're gonna be like out of proportion, and the next day he ghosts you. You know, it's like guys don't know how to fulfill women's love needs anymore as well. So women don't fall in love. You know, it's difficult. It's like, and for some women, some of us are sweethearts, you know, some of us like romance, you know. So if you don't romanticize me, if you don't romance me, it's like it's not happening. You're not creating feelings in me. Nothing is happening, honey. You know, I'm very happy to be by myself with my friends, focus on my business, coach my clients, all of that, all of this. I'm very happy. If you can't romance me, like nothing, there is nothing, there's no feelings, there's nothing, I don't care. Make me care. So, men don't know anymore. Women don't know, men don't know. People just meet up and sleep with each other. It's like no one's really in love. Nobody cares, you know? Uh, right, let me look at your comments. It's been so many. Um, some men leave you when you set boundaries. Ladies, when you set in a boundary, you have to put your self-respect first. When you put your self-respect first, so my hair, when you put your self-respect first, ladies, this is when men fall in love with men. This is when men have feelings for you. So he might get annoyed with you, but only a woman that respects a man will only love a woman that respects herself, right? So if you don't show self-respect, he's not gonna fall for you. So that girl, oh, listen to my heart. You're not showing self-respect because you're being too naive. You're listening to your emotion rather than doing the right thing. You know, so he's not gonna respect that. Self-respect is listening to is doing the right thing, is listening to logic. When you listen to logic, when you're doing the logical thing, men respect you. You know, so if he abused you and you step back, he respects that because he's like, okay, I can't abuse her anymore because she stepped back. She's doing the logical thing, right? If you're doing the emotional thing, like you're listening to your heart, he abused you, and instead of stepping back, you're like, oh, but maybe he just had a bad day. Oh, but maybe it's my fault, or oh, and you give excuses and you don't step back. He doesn't respect that. He's gonna abuse you again. He'll start using you as a punch bag, right? But if you actually do well, oh, you abuse me, huh? You are an adult. You need to take responsibility for your behavior, no matter what a bad day you had. A doctor doesn't punch his patient just because he had a bad day. Oh, I need to let it out. You know, like, no, he'll still control himself, even if he had. If I had a bad day and a client calls me, I'm like, hi, love, how are you? And I had just 2 seconds ago, I had the worst day ever, right? Because you have self-control, right? So he has self-control, but for some reason, he's not using it with you because you have no self-respect. If you'll show self-respect, he suddenly has a he's like, hi, love, hi, sweetheart, even though he had the worst day today. And then he'll be like coming to you because when a woman respects herself, that's when the love for her comes in. So he's gonna come back. He'll be like, hi, love. Oh, I love you so much. And he had the worst day ever, right? If you don't have self-respect, he had the worst day ever, and he comes back home. He's like, yeah, whatever. You cooked something. I don't like that. You know, big difference. So if you set in with boundaries, ladies, you have to be wise with boundaries. If you're setting in boundaries like the way I described in this video, right? For example, where was I saying this? Let's say I don't know, with the champagne, right? My client's example, right? So she didn't say, oh, you were trying to make me pay, how dare you, blah 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 blah, right? This is not a boundary. This boundary will never work because you're putting a blame on a guy, you're accusing him, etc., etc. You're like, your fault, your blame, how dare you do this to me. This doesn't work. A boundary, my client did a boundary by, he left her hanging, oh, you go pay for bowling, but she went to the bathroom and she came out of the bathroom, oh, sorry, it was on a call, blah, 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 blah. He knows she's not stupid. She's 40 years old. She owns a business. You know, he knows she's not stupid. So she set a boundary by not paying, but by doing it nicely. Oh, I had a call. That's also a boundary. He disrespects you, right? Let's say you're around a guy and he's like, oh, Greta, you cook, it's not nice, it's disgusting. What did you cook? You're like, what the fuck is disgusting? You know, like, and then and then you're like, okay, he's like weird today, I'm going home. But you don't say it to him like that, because if you say it to him like that, you'll be like, you say like, oh, you know, I'm not feeling well, I'm gonna go home. You leave, you go home, and then he's gonna be thinking, oh, she left after 2 hours today and she always stays 5 hours. And last time she didn't feel well, she still stayed because I was rubbing her tummy. But this time she doesn't feel well and she's going home after 2 hours. Maybe because I was rude and mean to her. That's a boundary. You let him figure things out. He's smart. But this is, ladies, again, all coming down to be smart. Be smart, be wise, think, filter. You know, when you do the blame game, you're not thinking, you're acting in a very basic, immature way. It doesn't work. You have to, when you mature, you just have to be a bit smarter, you know, a bit wiser, a bit more patient, a bit upgraded. High value woman, you're upgraded. You think, what's the right response? You have 5 responses you can give on a spot without thinking, but this is basic, immature stuff, right? That will turn a lot of times guys off. It's impulsive, right? As a high value woman, you want to be upgraded, so you think. That's how you stand out from the other woman. You think, you're smart, you're wise, right? Okay, ladies. Spent quite a lot of time here today. I really enjoyed this live. I did share quite a few personal stories, but nothing too personal. We were just one date, so it's fine. um, have an amazing, amazing weekend. Thank you all for watching. For one-on-one, again, you can book me through my website. I have lots of packages for sale there too, from single to happy relationship, high value women course, differences between men and women, and love you loads. Thank you for watching. Share this live. Share it with the ladies that need it. Okay, have an amazing day. Kisses. Bye, ladies. Bye-bye.